next time.
Pints of beer.
Just relax. Well, it is the Aussie Blokes, so we should have a couple of beers. A bit like the front bar.
That's exactly what I had in mind, yeah.
Why didn't we think of that?
I don't
We
know.
got the crates.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. All right, welcome everyone to the Aussie Blokes. This is a podcast all about, well, transforming the lives of men, and we're pretty serious about that, but this podcast is meant to take a lighter view of the fact that we're getting older, the fact that we're aging, and how we feel about it, how the community feels about it, and just trying to enact change in people over 40, because it could be the best time in your lives. We're here with John Denton. Welcome, John.
Welcome, John.
Wayne and Steve, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You've lived a full life, traveled a lot, and we can't wait to hear some personal insights into your experiences on some pretty important topics today. And it would be great to hear just a little bit about your background and where you're from and what makes you tick.
Oh, okay. Where am I from? I'm an Aussie that was born in the wrong country. I was told.
Wow.
I was born in England and brought up in England.
Yep.
In a steel town in the east of England. So I went through the steelworks as most males did.
Yeah.
Did an apprenticeship, electrical engineer. Came out of that. By the time I'd finished my apprenticeship, I wanted to get out of the steel industry. Didn't see any future in it.
Fair enough.
I was right. And I asked the guy that I was working for, the last guy, what should I do? I don't want to stay in the steel game. And he said, get into computers. That's going to be the big thing.
No, never. Come on.
Probably the best advice I've ever had in my life.
Now, that's really showing your age, John. When
Jeez,
someone says
man.
get into computers, that's the next
Computers.
big thing.
Not the internet, computers.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm not going to say what age I am,
Yeah,
but
no,
you
that's
can
all right.
deduce it. You'll get some hints. And that's
Yeah.
one of them. Right? So get into computers. And it was, so we went through the newspapers, found some ads for a service engineer. A couple of companies applied, and so I started in the computer industry as a service engineer.
Ooh.
And had an absolute ball. That was still in the Midlands. Then I moved to Nuneaton, and then I started applying. I've always wanted to travel. My dad died very young, sadly, and he had a passion for travel and never went anywhere. Just we couldn't afford things like that in those days. And so but I've always had this desire to travel. So I applied for a job in Holland on contract at the European Space Agency and got that.
Wow.
And went and lived in Holland working for ESA and travelling around Europe. And then, very fortunately, ended up spending 3 months in Cape Canaveral on a launch.
Oh, wow.
And that was a real life changer, because Florida in springtime is just like Perth.
Yeah, very similar.
It was fantastic. And so then I never settled back in Europe. But anyway, I went from there to Bavaria, spent a year in Bavaria.
Wow.
Why not? Why not, I say?
Well,
let's go to Bavaria,
It was interesting. When I was in the steelworks, just going back a little bit, I'll try and loop back on this. When I went back in the steelworks one day, the sun didn't shine very much in Core because of the steelworks, the smoke and everything else, plus the climate in Britain generally. But if the sun came out as apprentices and we didn't have anything on, we would go up on the top of the roof of one of the big buildings that looked like aircraft hangar type buildings and sunbake. Open up the overalls, stuff.
Whack on the olive oil.
You probably would have seen that from space, wouldn't you?
I don't know about olive oil, the grit from the steelworks.
Oh, nice.
But the guys started talking about what they wanted to do when they finished their apprenticeship. And going along the line, it's, I want to be foreman in the stripping plant, in the strip mill. I want to be in the rolling mill, this, that, and the other. It came to me. And I said, what do you want to do? I said, when I finish my apprenticeship, I said, I don't know where it is or what I'll be doing, but I can see palm trees, beaches, and girls in bikinis. Stuff that still works.
Yeah.
And now I live in Perth.
Wow. Wow, that's so cool.
But yeah, via Holland, Germany, worked all around Europe. So
amazing.
It's been a fantastic trip.
Yeah. What a journey.
And
that's incredible.